couple of weeks we've been looking at various different kicks, inside, outside kicks, and obviously kind of knees and stuff. We're just going to focus on low leg attacks. So that's anything that's coming on the inside of, outside of our thigh or inside of our thigh. Okay, that usually ends up being a round technique. So the inside low leg kick, it comes up and then diagonally through. The outside leg kick comes across and into the thigh. Okay, you can attack the knee and stuff like that. Direct attacks of like any joint is a bit frowned upon, but you know it is possible that you can kick the knee. For me, I always go for the thigh, because if I go and aim for the knee and he goes to throw that kick, it's a lot easier to actually get the knee up and defend the kick, whereas the thigh has to obviously go a little bit higher, and it helps set up some calf kicks as well. So what Jay's going to do when he's throwing his kicks, if we just go around this way actually, he's going to use the bottom part of his foot. When we get our pads and stuff, we'll kick each other, but with it being padded, it just makes it a bit nicer. So he's going to use that bottom part of his foot to emulate a kick coming in. So from this position, I'm just going to lift the knee up and drop the knee down. Okay, so the way I kind of describe this, imagine you're a puppet. Okay, so you've got strings attached to your feet. That doesn't mean when you block you do that. Yeah, but it just helps a little bit kind of think about where your hands need to be. Because if someone's attacking, we want to shut up a little bit, because sometimes we don't have time to kind of understand what type of attack it is. It could be a leg kick, it could be a midsection kick, it could be a head kick. So if you just see the leg move and come over to that side, you know, the insurance is kind of making sure everything's covered, and that's where this puppet kind of analogy comes from. The angle of the check as well, the leg needs to go diagonally out. So it's lifting up, toes are pointing down, and knees pointing diagonally out. The reason why we do that is Jay's going to throw a proper kick. If I don't block and turn my shin out, he's going to kick through my leg, and those hurt. Yeah, and especially when I start going a bit low and kicking the back leg. So there, and he kicks that back leg out. That it really does suck. Okay, so we need to stop the kick going through to the back leg. So I'm going to go into this position, touch, and then I'm going to throw. To there. Just practicing blocking that kick and getting a nice little rhythm. That's our first drum. Do you see how low my hands went? Okay, as soon as we start using our legs, our hands gradually go lower for some reason, so keeping your hands up. So here, just the outside leg to start off with. Okay, so let's mention when we're dropping our leg after we check the kick, it should place the leg back down and we're set back into what is our attacking position. Okay, we have to make sure that we're not trying to meet the leg kick. Okay, and that's where we extend our leg to try and meet the kick, because that's when we're going to drop and we end up elongating our stance. It makes it a lot more difficult to move. I have to change my foot position before then I can attack or move or anything like that. Yeah, we let the kick come to us. So as the kick comes out, yeah, I'm just letting the kick come to me, and then I'm just putting my foot down in the same position. Okay, because this is where we're going to start looking at some combinations and some counters off the kick. Okay, so Jay's going to throw that outside leg kick. I'm going to check, place the hand down, right cross, left hook, just on your hands. Okay, make sure we're closing our fist and getting used to punching with the gloves as well. So, drill is, check the kick, just place it down, 1, 2, and then Jay goes 1, 2, and move around a little bit. 1, 2, okay, so if you feel like you're falling, it's because you've either tried to meet the kick or you've just put your leg way in front of where you need it to go. Yeah, remember puppet, it's all we're looking for. Yeah. That's it, here we go. 1, 2, 3. So I turn my shin on the inside. Yeah, so, sorry, I turn my knee so that my shin's facing on the inside. When we're checking with that kick, it's really important that we're either on the top part of the shin or the bottom part of the shin where the instep is, never the middle. Okay, the middle is the weakest part of the shin. So if someone kicks you pretty hard, that's when it's going to be the most painful, but that's probably the bigger risk of having your shin snapped. Okay, so this is one of the things that we need to consider when we are checking kicks. Okay, sometimes the alternative is people go into the mindset of I will accept the kick. Okay, so Jay kicks me, yeah, and I just accept the kick. Now that is definitely a strategy. Okay, it's something you can consider, but if you're doing it as a single thing and just accepting the kick, and there's some martial arts styles where they'll tense the thigh and it bounces off and stuff like that. I catch you with a good couple of kicks, it's probably going to take 4 and then you're going to have some problems. Like I said before, one of the things that I take great pride of as a coach is we've got 6 TKO wins because of leg kicks, you know, throughout there. So and it takes a lot to finish someone with a leg kick because they're quitting just because of pain. Okay, but from a fighting point of view, if you keep taking them leg kicks, it's going to stop your ability to move. It's going to make things a lot more difficult to shoot, to defend, to attack, and do that kind of thing. So we can't just accept the kick as a single thing. So if I'm here, I'm just going to touch the opposite shoulder, okay? Because I'm happy taking a kick to give a punch, okay? And especially if I see some patterns where maybe the hands are dropping, his head's still straight up. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is kick for punch. All right, so he throws the kick. I'm just going to hit the chest. I throw the kick. Yeah, he's going to accept the kick, not block it. And then he's going to punch. Okay, so here, boom, that's it. The reason why we're hitting the shoulder, the person who's kicking, this kind of simulates what happens in the match. Because if you kick and get hit, you then kind of have to make a decision, and sometimes it's subconscious of every time I kick I get hit. So this is what I call train the puppy. Okay, so if every time he throws a kick and I hit him, at some point subconsciously he's going to go, every time I do this thing I get my nose splattered. Okay, so the touch on the shoulder kind of simulates that, trying to train the puppy to stop it kicking. Make sense? Yeah. I told you there's going to be loads of weird little sayings. Alright, on 3. Let's get either check or accept the kick. I can avoid it. So he throws a kick, step back, slide in, and then we're going to throw a combination. I'm going to let you throw whatever combination you want. Okay? So to start off with, let's keep it super basic. It might be just a jab across. Don't make full impact, but at least touch a little. So throw the kick, step, and then in to whatever kind of combination you want to play around with. So throw the kick, back leg, front leg goes there. Okay, so I'm still following the same basic principles of movement. That if I want to retreat, the back leg goes first, the front leg goes second. And then when I come in, same thing again. Throw my combination. So just nice and steady 1-4. Jay throws, I avoid, I come in, and I just touch. I throw, Jay avoids, yeah, and then he comes in for his combination. Okay, so don't make impact to start off with, just get used to that. The kicker as well, remember when we're kicking, our intention is not for the kick to stop here, but to stop building. Yeah, so my kick's going all the way through to building. So when he avoids the kick, yeah, if no one's there, you're gonna commit into your kick and end up stepping forward. All right, still go nice and steady though. So when I throw my kick, yeah, if they don't move, it's not going to paralyse them for the rest of the day. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3. So with the midsection kick, that's at the target area for the kicker is usually kind of the ribs, the side, not the hip. Yeah, so if you're a little bit tight and you're struggling with the leg kick catch, the person who's going to be defending might just need to drop a little bit just to help them out. Give you a little bit of time to stretch as well if you're really tight. Okay, so realistically from this kind of position, yeah, when they throw the kick, and we're going to focus on the back roundhouse kick to start off with, if I'm going to defend the leg kick and I just do this, yeah, it is at some point going to make my arm go dead. Yeah, so that big old shin landing continuously onto the arm is actually a tactic if you're fighting against someone who's a really strong puncher. Okay, so you're fighting someone who can hit really hard. You know, you don't want to commit in to go into that boxing range. We stay in a kicking range and we kick their arm until it goes dead. Okay, so Thais use this a lot, but from his position here, just accepting the kick in that position isn't the best strategy. It's a strategy, but it has a consequence if we use that. So whereas like the leg kick, we can kind of counter, and we can counter off this as well, into there. But I never use that as an option when I'm defending a mid kick. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to catch the kick. Okay. What's really important, because we've already sort of discussed that continuous impact is going to give us some problems if we just accept it. So I'm going to move away as the kick comes in. So as Jay goes to kick my ribs, I'm going to step and move away from the power. Okay, and this is really important because it also makes him a little unbalanced. So here, step, and keep this hand up. All right. This hand I want to keep as high as possible. Okay. If it's in this position, he can roll out, or he can start kneeing, or he can attach. Having that leg in this position straight helps us keep some good control. So from there, step and catch. And there's a timing element to this as well, because what you don't want to do is stand there with your hand ready to catch. Okay. So as you step in, I'm gonna go into my pocket and catch the kick. Okay. So that's pretty much all we're going to be doing, but it'll feel really complicated because we've now got a kick coming towards our ribs. Alright, so just nice and steady, catch a kick, touch your shoulder. Okay? Now, this is something I want you to get into the habit of. If you spar with me long enough and you throw a midsection kick, I will do this. As soon as I catch a kick, I'm touching you. So I'm not going to hit you as hard as that, but I'm going to make you think about my punch rather than you trying to get your leg out. And this is a tactic that we can use to kind of then start going into some takedown positions. Alright, so it's 1 for 1, catch, touch. Yeah. Let's go. 1, 2, 3. To the ribs, stepping across, catching the kick, that timing element as well. Okay? Because if that messes up, you don't get the opportunity to take him down and you just start absorbing damage. Okay, so he steps across, he starts firing his kick, I catch, I hit. Now from here, what I'm going to do is I need to step my back leg towards his back leg, okay? And as I've hit, I'm going to keep control, okay? I'm going to step across, to take that, okay? And you see it didn't have to be any harder than that, okay? So technically this is going to take the person down quite easy. I don't have to slam him and drive him to hell. It can be just nice, technical, nice and steady. Just stepping across behind there, and then head up. Don't follow him with your head down, because that's when you get kicked in the head. So hip in, and then Jay's just going to hold his hands, and I'm just going to throw a strike, okay? Because what we need to be doing with mixed martial arts is we break stuff up into individual sections, but realistically, when we apply it either in sparring or fighting, it has to be one continuous movement, okay? So this is why we're adding that punch on the end now, okay? So again, goes that kick, step, hit, cross, and then just that little touch with a hip in, okay? If you want, you can also add the double knee tap pass. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay, let's keep it going. 1,